whole mountain's unstable. Back into this stuff. Dreadful. Isn't it awful? Who does this? Gosh, I have to be careful. It's slippery. Oh, hello, good to see you. Welcome to another in the series of short videos I'm making about camping and hiking in Formosa, my recommendations and experiences. So today I would like to talk about the dangers of wild camping and some of the inconveniences you may face. So off the top of my mind, with the most serious, let's see, earthquakes. So of course there are earthquakes here and they are unpredictable, usually on the east coast, close to Hualien County, but they do affect the north of Taiwan, which is where we are here. And what's important to note is that there are aftershocks. So even if the earthquake has passed, it's best not to go wild camping for several days, maybe even 2 weeks afterwards, because there could be further tremors. And what these will do is cause landslides, so rocks running down the mountains, which is extremely dangerous, and will also obliterate and destroy trails that you may have planned to take along the way. Secondly, the weather. Of course it rains. If going out in a very wet time, then the trails can be very slippery. It can also make the mountains unstable, prone to rock falls, and it can also waterlog your campsite. So it's very undesirable to go out in heavy rain. And when camping on ridges, be aware that there is a chance of thunder and lightning, even with a passing cloud overhead. This can be extremely loud crack of thunder, very unpleasant and could be dangerous up there. And another consequence of rain is flash flooding, so don't camp next to a river if there's a chance, if it's been raining the day before, or if there's a chance of heavy rain. It's dangerous to be very close to a river because the level will rise very suddenly. So on a different tack, there are insects, of course. This is an island of insects, most of which I don't see, but they're there, and the most dangerous of these are the hornets and the tiger bees, and even some smaller bees. They will, if we are in their territory, they may follow us and try to sting our legs or arms. Tiger bees can be attracted to snifters, to beer. If you've opened a can, be careful. And the hornets, they will often be flying at high up in the canopy, and they may come down, take a look at me. So in that situation, it's best just to leave them alone, just like any of these things. If we don't bother them, then they don't bother us. So even if they're buzzing nearby, don't frighten them, don't scare them, don't try to swat them away, because they may either attack you or head off and find another 100 of them to come and sort you out later. So that's that problem. Another issue I've found is navigation. I use a smartphone, and this can be very important in following a trail. So take a battery charger with you so it's always available, and I would suggest don't use a Samsung phone, because one of their functions is to detect water in the USB port, and I've had many occasions where I couldn't recharge my phone because it said there was water, even if there wasn't, just maybe high humidity in the area, and the battery is running down, and then I don't have a phone for navigation. So that's very unfortunate. So those are the major items. I think I've said before, don't camp in a rice terrace, because that could flood with water and create a lot of mud that splashes inside your tent. And be careful of the trails, because there could be obstacles, fallen trees. So there are inconveniences out here, such as ants coming into the tent. Never put any food, store the food in your tent. Maybe you've just had your dinner and you put your plates and dishes inside the tent. This is highly unadvisable, because the ants can come in, create a huge nuisance for you. And any lights at night will attract moths and some very large flying bugs. So I tend to use a yellow light at night, and that attracts far fewer of these flying bugs. And as we've seen today, there are monkeys in many places. The Formosan monkey, generally they don't come down and bother people, but they're curious and they may come and have a look around. So just be cautious, be aware that they're there, don't leave food out, and don't make too much noise. They do have some warning signals and signs, but generally keep away from monkeys. It's not something you want to get close to. Other wild animals, we had no problem with muntjacs or wild boars in my experience. We can see a lot of trees here. There's one there with some there's a dead trunk there. So another point of danger is never pitch your tent under dead wood, dead standing wood. A lot of it's unstable, it can fall down if there's rain or at any time. There are a lot of very large dead standing trees in the Formosan forest, and it's it's not wise to camp anywhere near them. And consider water. I mean, its water bed here has dried up today. Always be very considerate of the water source and where it's located, and plan that before you come out. So I think they are the main points. I mean, clothing and getting wet, well, these are just common sense things. Take a change of clothes. And that's an inconvenience because it adds weight to your pack. But I mean, a couple of changes of shirts for each day. I mean, it may be too difficult. It may be possible to wash clothes in the river. Yeah, clean socks, very important to be comfortable. Keep your feet dry is my advice. It's a dreadful inconvenience to be walking in the mountain with wet feet. So that's it for today. I hope you found this video informative, and I'll think of another subject for the next video. Thank you for joining me.